Good evening. This is CTV News for Wednesday, August 16th. I'm Byron Scott.
And I'm Denise Douglas. So glad you could join us this evening. As the white supremacist groups in Charlottesville vow to continue their protest of hate and resistance, thousands gathered today to remember the young lady who lost her life in the weekend uprising. 32-year-old Heather Heyer was killed when a white nationalist protester rammed his car into a group of counter-protesters. People from all walks of life, including politicians, activists, and even some strangers, packed into a theater for her memorial service in Charlottesville. In the eulogy, her father, Mark Heyer, said she wanted equality and wanted to put down hate. Her grandfather also spoke at the service.
At an early age, she could call out something that didn't seem right to her. As I taught in nursery school one time, my wife was asked to go pick up Heather that evening because Susan had to work late. And when she showed up, the attendant, the one taking care of her, said, "Heather, your grandma's here." Heather stamped her foot, got indignant, and that little tot went tottering across the floor. She said, "She's not a grandma. Grandmas walk like this. She's Nana." And Nana she was, too. She called me Granddaddy, but the way she said it then, I'll never forget, and we teased about it. I was Grandaddy. Sometimes I signed cards to her that way down through the years just for a laugh. In earlier years, she wanted fairness.
Sweet stories. Heather's mother also spoke at the event. Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe and Senator Tim Kaine were also on hand. Heyer worked as a paralegal in Charlottesville.
And several hours after Baltimore Mayor Catherine Pugh told CTV News that 4 Confederate statues in her city would be coming down soon, the city did just that. Crews began dismantling the 4 Confederate-era monuments at about 11:30 last night. Now, the move comes in the wake of the deadly alt-right rally in Charlottesville, where white supremacists gathered to foment hate. Pugh tells CTV News that she wanted to act quietly and quickly to avoid the violence we saw in Charlottesville. Residents say they're happy to see them go. The statues are being held in storage. The mayor says they may eventually be taken to a Confederate cemetery.
Many are frustrated after President Trump's latest remarks on the hate groups in Charlottesville. County Executive Rashawn Baker is calling on the commander-in-chief to resign, saying his, quote, his equivocation on the incidents which transpired this past weekend is an affront to the promise of this nation, and his actions have no place in the Oval Office. He told that Trump should be resigning. Meantime, Senator Ben Cardin is expressing this discontent, saying his empathy for white supremacists has obliterated any semblance of moral leadership that Americans expect from their president.
A popular chant heard at Trump rallies during the 2016 presidential campaign was, "Lock her up, lock her up." Now it appears the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is saying something similar to judges in Maryland. Now, according to the Baltimore Sun, Kushner has been asking judges to lock up tenants that owe money to his real estate company. The Sun reports Kushner sought the arrest of more than 100 former tenants for failing to appear in court to face allegations of unpaid debt. Kushner's company operates 17 apartment complexes in Maryland. Reports indicate that he's used that tactic more than any other landlord in the state and that more than 20 tenants have been detained.